All right, back here with Cristi the Dietitian for another review of 90 Day Fiance. And tonight was, I believe, maybe the last episode, the last regular episode of the season.
Before the tell-all.
Yeah, the tell-all is coming up next week. And, tonight they kind of tied up some loose ends, for the most part, with a lot of the couples. Big Ed, standing 5 foot tall.
And you really can't appreciate how tiny his people are.
His people.
His family, I mean.
He's got like his own race of family.
I meant his family, but until you, Ed's kind of the tall guy.
Yeah, Ed,
and he's only 5 foot.
He's 5 feet tall and he's built like Shrek. And, whenever he was with his daughter in this episode, I looked over at you and said, she doesn't even look weird at all. Like, she looks normal next to him.
Yeah.
So it's, the whole family. Like,
but
they're all the same.
I think they were about the same height. She's probably only 5 foot. Little bitty thing.
So, Ed met with his daughter to apologize to her for not taking her advice when it comes to Rose Marie. Because, first of all, Ed's daughter is 29, Rose is 23.
Yeah.
Ed, I don't know if you picked up on it, but Ed is older than Rose's dad.
Oh, yeah. There was an episode that they talked about that.
Yeah. So, of course, when Ed told his daughter about Rose to begin with, she was not happy about it. She didn't like it. And so, apparently they had a falling out that we learned about in this episode. And Ed brought her flowers and tried to make up for it, and I guess they kind of did.
Yeah, I thought it was really big of him to admit that he was wrong and that she was right.
But
but
I mean, does it really mean anything since he did it anyway? The only reason he apologized is because it didn't work out.
That could be true. I don't know. I just think it could have been, he didn't have to do that. And he definitely didn't have to say you were right and I was wrong. He could have just said it didn't work out. And really not have any apologies.
Yeah, I think that would have been the more responsible way to approach it, personally.
What?
Because, I mean, seriously, if it worked out, what's he going to do? Never talk to his daughter again?
He would probably be able to go to her and she could see that he was happy and,
Well, happy with someone that she's old enough to babysit. That's the weird part. Ed's daughter could have been his wife's babysitter. Think about that.
I don't know. I'm sure it is weird for the kids. I don't know.
Yeah, so...
I've never been in that situation.
Yeah. So that happened in the episode. And then, let's see, up next, Lisa and Usman.
Yeah.
They got married.
Yes, they did.
And it was a beautiful ceremony, beautiful Nigerian traditional wedding. I know all about it. They showed up. Farouk and Muhammad were in attendance, which I was really happy about.
Yeah.
Peace be upon you. And so, before the wedding, in the hotel, Lisa confronted Usman and said, I need to know that you're serious and that you still want to marry me. And Usman, he got real with her. He got really real with her and said, I'm not giving up on you now.
Yeah.
He said, I've told you all this stuff for 2 years now, and it's not just words to me. This is a visa we're talking about. It is what I got from it anyway.
Yeah.
So they got married, and they pretty much just left it at that. We didn't see anything after the wedding.
And when they were having that conversation and they were laying in the bed together and they were just talking about, I don't know, it's weird to me that couple is just kind of strange to watch for me.
Really?
It's kind of cringy. Yeah.
How is it strange? In what way?
Well, she makes certain noises sometimes when she hugs him. Have you picked up on this?
Well, David does the same thing with Lana. I think it's an age thing. I think they've just lost control over their bodies. That's what I think.
Well,
Lisa looks old enough to be Usman's grandmother.
yes, she does. And she does she gives him little winks. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
And that's weird to me, you know.
Maybe he likes a little wink every once in a while.
guess.
I thought you winked at me a little while ago. I like that. So they got married, and apparently they're happily ever after. I don't know. I guess we'll find out next week in the tell-all.
Oh, we're going to find out a lot in the tell-all.
Yes, because I have a feeling we're going to learn a little bit more about how Usman's religion plays a part in their marriage when it comes to how many wives he has.
Yeah, because you saw the preview.
Yeah. So there's a little preview for the listeners, too. And so Varya and Jeffrey.
Yeah.
So Varya turned Jeffrey down in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
She said no to his marriage proposal. And so he was heartbroken. He came back to Tennessee, where he's from, and met back up with Mary, who has been trying to be with Jeffrey for a long time now. She's been waiting patiently for her chance. She was even giving words of encouragement earlier in the season to Jeffrey about Varya.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Varya shows back up unannounced while Jeffrey is spending time with Mary, calls her a lot of inappropriate names. She's just way out of line here, Cristi.
Varya?
Varya is way out of line.
No, she is not.
Walking into Jeffrey's house, kicking people out of his house.
She didn't kick anybody out. Jeffrey was the one that made that decision.
Cristi, she showed up to hang out with Mary's friends.
Yeah, well, this was when they...
And got mad when Mary showed up.
Well, Jeffrey invited her to go. Originally, he had invited Mary, but she shows up, and Jeffrey's in love with her. It had only been a couple of weeks from the time when he wanted to marry the girl. And then, all of a sudden, his feelings are just supposed to go away, and she realized that she really loved him and wanted to be with him, traveled across the world to come see him. And Mary, let's just be honest, and a lot of women understand this about men, I'm sure, and women do it too. Mary was just a rebound.
Oh,
and she should have known that. And she wasn't very smart to not realize that.
Well, how about the fact that Jeffrey said that Mary is still a friend to him, and Varya completely just is not okay with that. She says, not while I'm around.
Well, it's one thing to have a friend that's a girl that you've been friends with for a long time, but it's a different thing to maintain a friendship with, a close friendship with somebody that you were romantically involved with recently.
Well, I think Varya is a Jezebel.
What?
And she's way out of line.
No, Varya is one of my favorite people on the whole show this season.
Well.
So there.
And I don't even like Jeffrey. I don't think you can trust him.
Well,
But I'll call it like I see it, and I think Varya is a Jezebel.
No, she isn't. She is not.
Well,
how do you define Jezebel?
Varya. It's pretty simple. But they did get engaged.
Yeah.
She basically demanded that he ask her again, and he did.
Of course.
And she said, yeah, she met his kids, which I'm not even convinced are actually his kids.
Yeah, they are.
They're nothing like their dad. But there's a weird little, cute father-son relationship they have, too, where they're very protective of their dad.
Mm-hmm.
And he honestly seems pretty reckless to me. He does. The whole thing about him going to prison and him just...
That was years ago.
Okay, well, what about just up and dropping everything and going to Russia to meet this younger girl?
I'm sure that he had planned to do that.
Well, they were very protective of their dad when he told them that he was planning to do that too.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think they approve, they're not happy about the Mary situation because they like Mary. Because
They
everybody
seem to-
likes Mary. Mary's a good woman.
Mary cussed a lot. I will say that.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Varya started it.
No, I don't know. Varya told her right away, you don't talk to me that way. And she demanded respect, and Mary
There
did
were
not
times-
cuss around her after she said that.
There were times that Varya instigated those comments. There were times that Mary didn't even say anything disrespectful, in my opinion, and Varya still just attacked her. Oh, what about when Mary was trying to leave? She went inside to get her stuff and came back outside, and Varya said, "Move, B."
Look, that sometimes you say things that you later regret in the heat of the moment. That's exactly what happened with her, but she's been pretty controlled.
Well, I think she's a loose cannon.
Well, my goodness.
And,
I don't. I totally disagree with you.
and honestly, I think Jeffrey's a loose cannon too. So
Well, you
I
may-
hope they're happy. And I hope Mary comes back on next season.
I don't like Mary.
Well, I
Sorry.
think she's the only good guy in the situation.
Oh
at
my
all.
gosh, she's okay.
And her and Jeffrey's kids. You know, she just needs to get with one of Jeffrey's kids, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Because then everybody would just be happy.
Yeah,
And they could all be at the same...
functions
Yeah.
and whatnot.
And
yeah.
then Varya wouldn't be able to open her big mouth about it.
Look, Varya has every right to say, look, I don't want my man around this person.
Well, I can understand that. Because as a man, I wouldn't want my woman around certain people that she's been involved with before. So, they got engaged. And let's see, who else got engaged? Everybody got engaged in this episode.
David and Lana.
Yes. David and Lana got engaged.
Which shocked the heck out of me.
There's something to it. There's something fishy about her. She's a Jezebel too.
I tell you, she is.
And he's a weirdo.
He is very weird.
So it's a match made in heaven. They David bought Lana her own personal iPhone, which she probably already has at least 2 or 3. But
I think I saw her using one like on a episode before this one.
I think the reason he did is because she wouldn't give him her phone number, I think is the thing.
Well, and he said that it was hard with the translations through the phone.
So
for whatever reason.
he got a phone so that he could have the number pretty much, and then he put the app on there for the translator and all that stuff. So that was the first plot twist of the episode, because we thought he was pulling out a ring to propose, and he pulled out a phone. But so he gives her the phone, and then he's got to go home. She stands him up on the last day because she's got to babysit. And then he goes to the airport, and she actually meets him at the airport to send him off.
Yeah.
And that's when he proposes. And so she's smiling. She says yes.
Yeah, she was excited about it.
And it was pretty awkward. Whenever she said yes, he stood up. They hugged each other, and she just looked like her life was over if you looked her in the eyes. Did you notice that?
No, I felt like she was excited.
She looked horrified.
But not for all the right reasons.
Yeah, she's
I
got
think
money
she was
now.
excited that she's getting to go to Las Vegas.
Yes. Yep. Another visa hunter. I think is what it is.
That's exactly what I think she is.
So, but you know,
And David's so stupid, she's going to be able to do whatever she wants.
yeah,
whenever
in
she
Las
gets over
Vegas,
here.
where the sin capital of the world.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what else? David, that private investigator, sent him those links, and he refused to believe them.
Yep. Yeah. I think it's an age thing. He's probably not even aware of what catfish is. He's probably
Yeah.
never even heard of the TV show. And,
Well, they talked about Williams catfishing
Yes.
Yolanda this week, too.
yes. And I feel bad about this, but I actually know how that one ends. Because I've seen it. I've seen the spoilers online.
What?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you, but yeah. So Yolanda's daughter hires a private investigator, and at this point, Yolanda still believes he's real. still believes he's who he says he is. Mm-hmm. Because they've started talking again. Mind you, she's gotten threats. She's being blackmailed.
Yeah.
Because of Williams. The Instagram thing, his profile completely changed to something different. Just
his pictures, they found his pictures, like they were just stock photos online.
Yes, and
I knew when I saw that guy in those pictures that wasn't the Williams. I knew that right away.
Yeah, I mean, the number one flag, I think, is when someone refuses to video chat or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that he says he's from Manchester and doesn't know anything about the geography of that city.
Yeah.
That's weird. But they hire a private investigator, and they're giving him all the information this week about everything that's gone on, the whole situation. And so apparently next week on the tell-all, we'll see what the verdict is.
Yeah.
And I already know what the verdict is.
Well, I think we all know what the verdict is.
Well,
I don't know the details of it, but the Williams is not who he says he is.
Yeah. So, the tell-all next week, I guess, and I was pretty entertained by the preview because it looked like the whole cast is going to be there talking to each other. Like, judging each other on each other's situations.
You've never seen a tell-all before.
No.
Okay, well, normally they're in studio together, and I think they must have had to record this tell-all while the quarantine's going on.
Yes.
Because they were all in their separate houses.
Yes.
Or they're separate wherever. They weren't together.
I'm just excited.
The way it looked to me.
I'm just excited to see someone like Ed, who's in this ridiculous situation.
Yeah.
With a girl younger than his own daughter, living in Thailand in a home with no roof.
Oh, gosh.
You know, I mean, think about Ed. You know,
Look,
and think about who he fell for, and he's going to be on there laughing and making fun of David for falling in love with Lana, as if he didn't do anything any worse.
Oh my God,
they're all going to be going at each other.
I think I laughed harder at Ed while he went and was visiting Rosemary.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, I would be in the same I would be in the same boat as Ed because she lives basically in a little shack with no air.
Right.
They have to take a shower with a bucket of water. You know, who knows what they had for dinner?
I don't know.
He had to sleep with Rose's dad.
Well, that actually didn't end up happening. Remember?
Yeah.
But it was an uncomfortable night for him.
Yes. It's just so weird.
The tell-all will be good, though, because it always really is. And Darcy, I love her, but she just, I don't know what she's done to herself.
She is going through a midlife crisis.
She has been for a little while.
Yeah, apparently this is her, how many times has she been on the show?
3.
Oh, my goodness. Well, she's just making a career out of this now.
I think it's 3.
Why is she always sad?
2.
Think of all the money she's getting for her dating life.
I don't know. Do they get paid for this?
Oh, they've got to get paid for it. It's a TV show.
Oh, I don't know how that works.
I would assume they get paid for it.
Yeah.
Rosemary might finally get to have a roof over her head
out
of this TV show.
Yeah.
But apparently she's been dating a woman.
That's what they said.
So we'll see about that. Oh, the girl. Came out to her mother on the episode.
Yeah, she did. And the mom took it pretty well. The mom said that she felt like that she was confused because she's had some pretty rocky relationships in the past, but ultimately she said that she just wants her to be happy. And I think that was really good.
Yeah.
Because she was worried about that.
Yeah, she's a loose cannon too.
Oh man, yes she is.
Yeah. Whoever ends up dating her needs to have all plastic foodware. Because she'll grab something just to break it.
Yeah.
Because that proves some point, apparently. But I think that just about covers the whole episode. Mm-hmm. So we had 2 engagements.
Yeah.
We had 1 marriage, 1 reconciliation, and one coming out party.
Yeah.
So that's a big episode. And next week is the tell-all, where everybody cries and everybody attacks each other. And it's going to be a great time.
Oh, it's so good.
So, yeah. So, this has been the third review of 90 Day Fiance. And from here on, it's going to be exclusive on YouTube so that we can have more time to talk about it. We're 20 minutes into it.
What?
Where usually we talk 5 minutes, and this has flown by.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah. So, Cristi the Dietitian, thank you for sitting down and talking with me about this again. And I can't wait to do it again next week.
Me too.
All right.